Hi everyone, Zena here. Welcome back to my channel. You're probably asking, where am I? Well, today's video is slightly different to what I usually do. This is not a makeup video. This is a video on how I organize my stuff. This is the view that you are used to seeing, so today you will see a very different view. You will see behind the camera. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is currently the view behind my camera. As you can see, it looks like a bomb site. I do not have a beauty room. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment and I keep my makeup in drawers, but the drawers obviously are not in my lounge room. This is my lounge room, so at the moment I do use my dining room table as a place to do my makeup. That's where I'll obviously film my videos as well. And as you can imagine, having a nice clean lounge room but constantly having a dining table that looks like a bomb site is just not ideal. Whenever I do have people over for meals and whatnot, it really is a pain in the neck having to clear all of this stuff off all the time. So I figured now's a good time to actually start organising this stuff and just making it look a little tidier. So I'll just show you quickly what is here. It's the regular situation where it is a chaotic mess, but I do actually know where everything is. Nevertheless, it does look just so unsightly and yeah, definitely needs to be fixed. So as you can see, I've got all like used brushes down here, face products, foundations, clean brushes here, just makeup strewn all over the place. That's my makeup kit for when I do clients' makeup. It's just a colossal mess. The other thing is, because of the fact that I do have my makeup in a drawer, I find that I don't use it as often. Definitely one of the disadvantages of having all your makeup in a set of drawers is that out of sight is out of mind. So I do find that I don't use a lot of it. So what I try and do is I try and rotate out my palettes at least once a month. So I'll pull out new palettes, make sure I use those palettes for a month, and then put them back and pull out other new palettes. So I'm constantly rotating and trying to make sure that I use as many palettes as I can. Nevertheless, like this system, yeah, just isn't working and it's really untidy. So throughout this video, not only am I going to show you how I tidy this space and make it look a lot more presentable, but I'm also going to be showing you different tips and tricks on how to organize and store makeup, and also just how to make the makeup space look nice, even if you are working with small spaces like I am. Obviously, I would love nothing more than to have a beauty room, but I'm working with what I've got, and at the moment it's a dining room table. I did was to go online just to see what sort of storage options were available, and I ended up actually finding these on eBay. So there's a store called Edeka, I'll link the description below, and these are acrylic storage organizers designed for the Alex drawers, so the Alex drawers from IKEA. I don't actually have Alex drawers. The drawers that I have are kind of shittier ones, I guess, so I am using this to put actually on the table rather than in a drawer. But I'll just talk you through quickly the ones that I got. So I got this one here, and this one's great because it's got all the little compartments that fix things like liquid foundation and prep sprays, and basically anything that comes in a bottle will fit nicely in there. The next thing I got was this thing here, and this fits all your makeup palettes. So this will be perfect, you know, for whenever I do need to rotate the palette. So I'll have some palettes in here for a month, use as many as I can, and then rotate them with other palettes a month later and so forth. So it'll be a lot easier to take this whole tray into my room where I do have the chest of drawers and just restock it each month. The next thing that I got from Edeka was this thing here. So this is a perfect thing to hold lip glosses in. I do have a ton of lip glosses, so this will come in very handy, and this will also stay onto the dining table as well. And then finally, these two things, I've actually had these for a while. These have sat in my bathroom cupboard and they've just been filled with crap. So I've emptied them, given them a bit of a wash, and I'll be using these as well. This will be perfect. As you can see, it's a bit gross. I have had it for many, many years. This will be perfect for putting in these brushes, highlighters and powdered foundations and whatnot. And then finally this thing here, it's two separate things, but I think I'll put them together. This will be perfect for lipsticks as well. Okay, so now that I've cleared everything from the dining table, I'm now ready to start filling up the little compartments. So at the moment I've just got all of my foundations, powders, setting sprays, all the stuff that I want to put into the compartments. And I'm just giving them a quick wipe down just to make sure that they're super clean, and I'm just arranging them. I am actually putting a method together with how I'm arranging them. So I'm putting all the foundations on the left, all the setting sprays along the back, all the prep creams along the side, and then all the other stuff kind of in the middle. Now it's time to put my lip glosses away. So again, I'm also trying to put these in some sort of an order, I guess kind of to sort of create a color gradient. So I'm putting all my reds together, all my nudes together, all my pinks together, and purples and so forth. For my lipsticks. I'm not a huge lipstick wearer, so this little compartment that I have is definitely big enough for what I need, and I'm just going to put the ones in that I use the most. And now it's time to fill up my palettes. As mentioned, I will be rotating these out each month just to make sure that I use all the palettes that I have, because I definitely have a ton of palettes. Out of all the makeup that I collect, by far I collect the most palettes. It is important that I actually use them and they don't just sit in a drawer. Now for putting together some of the other stuff, I got these Huda Beauty lip gloss thingies, and rather than keeping them in the box, you can use a candle holder and put lip glosses in there. So that's what I'm doing. It just looks nice. It's a nice way to store it. Also got blotting paper, which I always like to keep just for touch-ups, removing any oil from the face. They always come in super handy. Slowly but surely, the table is starting to take shape. Still a little bit of work to do though. Okay, when doing putting the glosses into the candle holder, as you can see, I've decided that it doesn't really stick out too much, and it's going to make it hard to see what's actually in the candle holder. So by cutting up and putting together into a ball some bubble wrap, it lifts up those lip glosses and you can see them a lot better. They just look nicer as well. I've also used an empty candle holder to store my eyelash glue in. It's a perfect size. They fit beautifully in there once I can get the lid on, and yeah, good way to store them and keep them all in one spot. Similarly, I've also used a empty candle holder to put my cotton buds in. So that's a really handy size as well. And finally, yes, I burn a lot of candles. I've used a lot of empty candle jars to put my brushes in as well, as I do have a lot of brushes, and those brushes are all different types of shapes and sizes and lengths. I've tried to sort of separate them and put all the short ones in the smaller candle holders and all the longer brushes in the taller ones. So here I am just arranging them all. I'm also trying to keep all the eye brushes together and then all the face brushes together also, just to put some sort of order.
Just to give you a really quick tip on actually removing wax from a candle once you've used it. A lot of people say to heat it up and, you know, pour the candle wax out that way, but you'll find it's actually a lot easier if you put the finished candle into the freezer. Leave it in the freezer for an hour or so for the candle wax to freeze, and then you'll see that the candle wax pops out so easily, and it's just so much easier than trying to melt it out. Then all you need to do is give it a quick wipe and you're done. You can store your perfume samples in a candle jar as well. There's just so many uses for them, seriously. This is also a candle jar, empty candle jar, and I'm just putting makeup remover pads in there. Because there's a lid on this one, it ensures that no dust goes in, which is great. Okay, now for the final container that I'm going to fill up. This one I'm going to keep my used brushes in there and all my finishing powders, highlighters and bronzers. So I want to make sure that I keep them all in the one spot. This is a highlighter from Bobbi Brown that I've had for about 3 or 4 years now, and it's probably one of my favourites. This is beautiful kind of pinky white, really finely milled glitter. Then of course my Jeffree Star Skin Frosts as well. Both of these I use regularly and I absolutely love them. This one's the peach one, and the other one, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, super bright yellow. But doesn't look super bright yellow on the skin. So just popping all of these together into the one spot. I'll keep a couple of blushes in there as well. And that's ready to go.
So you don't only need to use empty candle holders to put your brushes or your lip glosses in. You can use basically any kind of container. So this is one that I actually picked up from the supermarket, specifically Woolworths. This was actually a coffee jar. It's a limited edition Peter Alexander design. You can use this for anything such as Q-tips, makeup removers. At one stage I thought about also putting makeup sponges in here, but you would have to be extremely careful with makeup sponges because you would have to only put the dry, unused ones. I would definitely not recommend putting, even if they're clean, do not put wet ones in here because once you seal that, there's just a breeding ground for bacteria and you definitely want to avoid that. So for this particular case, I've decided to use it to put my MAC pigments in. This is another type of thing that I have sitting around in my drawer, and because it's hidden away, I don't use it. I don't even realize that I have it. And there's such beautiful colors here, like beautiful glitters and really strong, intense pigments. So this will go perfectly in here. So there you have it. This is something else that I picked up and something else that is fantastic to use as a storage item. I picked this up from Anthropologie. Obviously Anthropologie is based in the US, however they do ship to Australia, which is fantastic. And they only charge $25 as a flat fee to ship to Australia, which is great. So you can basically buy like a crap ton of candles, which are heavy and bulky, and you will only ever pay $25. So I picked this up during a sale. I think I ended up paying something like $8 for it, so it's really good value. Well, it was down from $20. I definitely wouldn't pay $20, but for $8 it's great. It's made of Perspex, or acrylic, and it's got the really cool fluoro pink accents on it. So I'm going to use this for my short brushes that are too short to fit in the candle holders. But again, you can use this for whatever you want. You can use it for Q-tips or lip glosses or eyeliners, whatever you like. So that's another idea there. And then finally, something else that you can use is mugs, another perfect storage item. So I picked this up from a website called Twinkle Twinkle Little Jar. It's a really cool website where you can buy mugs and I guess drinking devices in all sorts of shapes and sizes. You can buy pre-made ones, or you could have them custom made like I did. So really, really cool idea, great gift idea as well, and they always have sales, so definitely wait till there's a sale on. Don't pay full price. I mean, it's good value, but why the hell wouldn't you pay sale price if you can? So this is perfect for putting kind of the more prettier brushes into. So I'm going to put my SL Miss Glam brushes in here like so. And yeah, as you can see, that looks super nice.